Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Experience Show. I am your host, Ashley J, and I am excited to be here with you tonight on this special night, this wonderful night. Um, before we get started, make sure you hit the like and share sign and subscribe to the channel. When you share it to 5 people to get them to watch this episode with you. I'm really happy to be here tonight. Can y'all tell? I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that there is something new to celebrate tonight. Tonight is, well, not tonight. Last night, yesterday was my anniversary, but tonight I wanted to celebrate it with you guys. So we made it to 8 years. Me and my hubs, we have been married for 8 years now. And let me tell you, it has been fun and it has been trying. And I wanted to talk to you guys about some of those things. Um, before I get started, though, make sure if you would like to be a guest on the Love Experience show, you can let me know. You can DM me on you can DM me and find me on all social media at it's Ashley JW, or you can send me an email, Ashley at it's AshleyJ.com. And let me know that you would like to be on the show, be a guest for the show. I am looking for guests. So let me know if you would like to be a guest on the show, and I'll set you up with a date. You know, it's on every Thursday at 8 o'clock. So you can plan yourself around that. Okay. So every Thursday at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern is when the show is. And you want to be a guest, I will get you a date. Okay. It's very simple. So 8 years. There has been 8 wonderful years, and then also 8 trying years. Being married, period, is hard. No matter who you are, it is hard being married. And it's only hard because you are two people coming from sometimes exact opposite backgrounds. And sometimes, even if you have similar backgrounds, it can still be it's still hard because you are merging two lives. You're merging two lives, and that in itself is hard because you have people with two totally different personalities most times. And even if you, excuse me, y'all, allergies have been bothering me. Um, Even if you have the same type of personality, it's still hard because you guys have different likes, you have different desires, you want life to look different for each of you. And when you bring two people together, that is a challenge. It's a challenge. Think about it like this: when you were in school, let's say elementary school, when you were in school, you had a classroom of your peers. You guys are all pretty much the same age. And if you aren't, there isn't much of an age difference. So you're all pretty much the same age. You're coming from different households, and the way you learn is different. So it is very difficult for a teacher to bring you all together, to get you all to act a certain way, to be able to reach all of you on some level. That's a challenge. So think about that when you think about merging two lives together in a marriage. And I am saying two lives because I'm not in a polyamorous marriage. And this is my experience. So merging two lives together, it can be hard. Um, there's a lot of Hi Ida. There's a lot of different factors that go into what it's like to be in a marriage. And the main factors, well, I've told you guys what you should look for. Um, and I've told you how to have good communication. I've shared these things with you in the past. Well, all of those things are going to come together right now. So, beginning of our marriage, it was extremely challenging. Regardless of us living together, I always say this, if you're living together, it doesn't matter. Once you say, it's like once you say I do, you shift titles and you shift roles. And you have these new titles and these new roles, and maybe you don't know a whole lot about it. It takes some getting used to. So first few years of marriage, it was challenging. And let's add on to that the fact that when we first got married, I wasn't working. I haven't really started to work for real until 2 years ago. So we have one income. We get we add a child to the mix, a little boy. Y'all seen the little bouncing baby. We add a child to the mix on one income in, well, wasn't necessarily today's economy, but it was getting to today. Right before the pandemic, he was born, so things started to shift in the midst of his very early years, and things got expensive, which meant we had to try to figure out how to make things work, and that meant getting into debt. We have we've had to battle debt after, I would say, after our wedding. After I got sick, debt became a real thing, and it almost became an uncontrollable monster. So if you know anything, you know that marriages and money can be a good thing, and it can also be something that becomes a vein of your existence. So when it comes to that, when there's money challenges, financial challenges, that causes a rift in a marriage, especially when you don't anticipate the challenges that come. So when you don't anticipate, one of you getting sick and one of you not being able to work for a while, when you don't expect that stuff to happen, that adds on to the difficulties of marriage. So I said all of that to say that is one of the things that remained through the course of these 8 years. That is one thing that has remained. And now we are at a point where it's looking better. Um, Again, I didn't really start working for real until uh 2 years ago. And that is 6 years of living on one income. So you do the math. And you got a child that has to go to school and is growing all of the time and is loving T-ball and like all of that, y'all. Add all of that together. You can see how that can try a marriage. So when I say the ups and downs and the good and the bad, yes, that's for real. Like I am someone, I had to learn not to let certain things stress me. I am somebody that will think and think and think and think and remain in my head and then get stressed out. And then ever since getting sick, that stress causes me to have a flare up. So I had to learn how to not not focus on the negative. I had to learn how to let some things go. So I will, when we're in a financial bind, I'll tell my husband, all right, I'm gonna pray about it, and I'm gonna pray that, the Father opens up a door for us, and um we'll see what happens. That is what I say to him. And I try not to think too much about it. I will come up with ways that I can try to bring in some extra money or whatever. But I try not to hold on to that concern. One, because my husband is worrying about it for both of us, and two, like I said, I can't let that stuff affect me. So he may think I'm carefree, but I'm not. I'm trying not to think about it. I'm trying not to dwell on it. So finances, debt has been a, a constant, but I feel, and I think he feels the same way, that we're coming around the corner, and that's a blessing, especially in today's time. We're coming around the corner. Um, but even just the greatness that is of being a parent. I love being a parent, and I love that little boy so much, that mini me for both of us. He has become my protector. He don't play about his mama, and he don't play about the routine that he has with his mother, okay? So we are just watching him evolve. I just said this the other day. I was like, I can't believe that our son is about to graduate next week from pre-K, and he's going into kindergarten. What happened? What happened? So um just having that experience with someone else. I don't know what it's like to be a single mother, but I've had a single mother, and I have seen the challenges that she experiences. I even see it with my sister. She's a single mother. I see the challenges that they have experienced, and it is something that I do not want. I don't want to go through that. If I have to go through that, then whatever. But I do not want to go through that. I don't want to have that experience. So, and I don't think my husband does either. I don't think he wants to go through being a single father. So, I it feels good to witness our child growing up. It feels good to witness seeing him become the little man that he is. He is 100% an old soul. 100%. He is an old soul that is super, super intelligent and such a ball of fun. And he keeps us on our toes. And one of the things that I love witnessing is the fact that he's playing t-ball, and my husband, his father, has become the unofficial coach for one of the unofficial coaches for the his t-ball team. And I love watching him coach him on how to hit the ball, watching him coach him how to field the ball. I love seeing that. I love seeing him pitch into him last Tuesday. He actually pitched the ball to Marquise, and Marquise hit the ball each time it was pitched to him by his father. That made my heart smile. I mean, that made me so happy seeing that. And it was such a beautiful moment. And I just couldn't contain myself. It was so exciting. And to see them celebrate Marquise getting the game ball at the end of the game. So let me explain the game ball. If after each game, the coach hands the ball to one of the kids, one of the boys, his team happens to be all boys, one of the boys that checked off whatever list he has. So he gives them the ball and they write the team they played, they write the date on the ball, and all of the kids sign the ball. It is it was so great seeing Marquise finding out, hearing that he won the game ball. Y'all, that boy got so excited. He had the biggest smile on his face, and he started jumping up and down. He was so excited. I was excited for him because Marquise is extremely talented. He is extremely talented and competitive. And the fact that he got the game ball that day was ice cream, no, cherry on the cake for him. Like that child, after each game, I forget how many games they've had so far, but after each game, he has been so he felt so upset that he wouldn't get the game ball. Well, Tuesday was his opportunity and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. He was just super excited. So watching them and him high fiving his dad and his dad smiling at him and laughing at him, being joyful about what he just did, that was great. I didn't get in the mix. I just sat back and I just watched them. And that was such a beautiful moment. I got it on video. I did not realize I was going to be talking about that, so I did not put that cue it up for us to watch it. But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, and I was so happy for Marquise. I almost started crying for him because I know how much he's worked hard to hit a pitched ball, and like which means he is not using the tee at all. He's hitting a pitched ball, and just watching how he's evolved in the game, he's getting really good at t-ball. And this might be something, it's up to him, but this might be something that he wants to continue to do. His dad played baseball all the way up until college. So this I said was a really great way for them to bond, and I see it. It's beautiful. So, and I try to make sure I am stepping back. I told them in the beginning of the season, I said, this is a you and daddy thing. Mommy is going to make sure she gets to every game, but this is a you and daddy thing. This is for you and your son, talking to both of them. This is for you and your son to connect. I'm out of it. I'm going to just be there to support. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been fun. It's been really fun. So watching this little human that we created evolve into this really, I there's no words that I can use to describe that little boy. So watch this perfect combination of me and his father, um, with the good and the bad of both of us. Watching him turn into his own person is fantastic, and enjoying it with my husband is something that I never thought about. And when I say I never thought about it, I never thought of what that would feel like. So to really sit back and check in with my emotions and check in with how that feels for me is something that I recently did. And I felt that it felt good. I don't want to do this without my husband. I don't want to experience being a mother without him. He's been there from the beginning, obviously. So I want to continue to finish it with him. So going through doing all of that, with experiencing all of that with him as far as a child of our own now, watching that he has had a daughter. She's 20, and I came in the picture when she just turned 10. So watching her, I think it was 10, maybe 9. I can't remember, but watching her grow into this woman Um, it is a great feeling. It's a great feeling, and to hear him talk about how he's watched the evolution of her. Um, it's something that's wonderful, also, but it's a different feeling for me to watch the person that we created together evolve. He went from a little caterpillar and evolved into this beautiful, almost butterfly, because he's not all the way matured yet. That's why I said almost butterfly. But just watching it with him, it's a great feeling. I love it. Um, I also it's okay. I also skipped over all my notes and jumped to one point in my note, but let me back up for a second. So we hit 8 years. And I know for some people that's like, okay, y'all ain't been together long enough, been married long enough. But for me and for him, that's a big deal for us. 8 years is a triumph, in my opinion. So we hit 8 years yesterday. And I was like, you know what? I want to talk about us going to get into this eighth year of our marriage journey. And I was like, well, let me look up what the number 8 means. So the spiritual meaning of the number 8 represents justice, leadership, prosperity, and balance. And that's from ola.com. But that's what it represents. And I can see every one of those things happening, or even us being positioned for each of those, being positioned for justice, leadership, prosperity, and balance. um I'll speak for myself. Balance is important because we both can get caught up in the things that we're doing. We both can get caught up in, like, for him, it's school. For me, it will be work and learning all that I can learn about work. And sometimes when we get caught up into to what we do, we don't spend enough time with each other. And it could be a thing where he's asleep by the time I get upstairs, or I'm busy getting my keys together for tomorrow, or whatever. It could be a day or two that goes by where we don't really connect. But I see the balance in it because I feel like we are getting to a place where we can do all of the things that we need to do and the things that we love to do, and still have time to be with each other. It's not so much of a grind. That's what I want to say. I can see things not being as much of a grind. It is coming, it's slowing down, and we have balance. We are getting seeing the light through the tunnel, through the to the end of the tunnel. We are seeing the light, and we're close to the light. So the balance is really important. And I just talked to you about prosperity, or about our debt, and I feel the Father is shifting things around for us. So I feel that we are going to step into something new really soon, and that's exciting. um Leadership. I During this 8-year journey, I had to learn to step back and let my husband be the leader. And I laugh because there were times where I thought I was doing that, but not exactly. So I'm learning to step back and let him lead. I'm learning to let him take control, and I give my point of view when I need to, but trusting that he can take care of us, trusting that he is going to do all that he can do to make sure we are in a great place. I see that happening. I'm trying to step away and let him take the reins. And that's big because I can be very what's the word? Strong-willed at times. So I am finally at a place where I'm like, you know what? I got to stop. Let me step back and let him take it over. So that's leadership. And then as far as justice, I see justice being just us not fighting so much to survive, us getting out of the battle of surviving and getting into the place that God has for us. That's how I'm viewing justice for us, for my marriage. And the 8th year is also the bronze anniversary. Why is that important? I don't know, but I decided that I wanted to make sure I tell y'all that. I try to keep up with once the anniversary comes around. I try to keep up with what each anniversary symbolizes. So that's what this anniversary is. Bronze, okay? So this past year, going from the 7-year itch until into the 8th, I don't know what's the saying for the 8th year. If you know, put it in the comments. But putting it, getting into that place is it makes me feel like we conquered something. We triumphed over things that has held us back. We've triumphed over things that or the anniversaries that may be difficult for people, at least from what I've heard. Okay, so the 7-year itch set the, let me see, before we hit our 7th anniversary, but it was last year. It was a there was a battle. There was a battle, um, and we had to figure out some things, but we, in the midst of the battle, we learned to communicate better with one another and be more open, um, and more accepting of what the other person has to say. That was something that maybe we didn't do as much as we thought we did in the beginning, but is something that we definitely have learned, had to get pushed into realizing and practicing it. So before we hit this 7th year, it was like I said, it was almost battle royale, but we made it through that. We had help with a therapist, through a therapist, and she helped us until she had to go on maternity leave and have her baby. So we picked up some good tips, things that I give clients, and um, little tricks and things to use with couples who are trying to reconnect after a huge disconnect. So that is how the 7th year started. I want to say by the time we got to our anniversary, we started to possibly started to piece things together. I'm trying to remember, but I believe we did start to piece things together, and we started to work on our perspective by the time we got to May 1st last year. So after, I think June or July, things started to get smoother. It wasn't so bumpy. Were there still some battle scars? Sure. But it wasn't as bumpy. Those scars were healing and were in the process of healing. So we made it through all of that, getting hit after hit, because that's what it felt like. Hit after hit. Um, to where we are today, where we can feel like things are turning around. And I keep saying that because we were really in a place that was challenging. Um that could have broke us. Honestly, we were in a place that could have really broke us, but we stayed. We stayed connected. We made sure we made to maintain our connection. Um, and we had to rebuild it. Are things perfect? Absolutely not. Nothing is perfect right now. I don't think it'll ever be perfect. But for us, it is, things are doable. Okay? Things are doable. And one thing that I've noticed about us and when we get into these really dark places is our resilience. We can fuss and fight, but not physically. Let me say that. We could fuss, okay, and argue. I'll say it like that. We could fuss and argue and be sick and tired of each other, ready to just like leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Don't even look at me. We could get to that place and be in that place for a while. But after, I'll say, a couple days of being that way, which that is not healthy, y'all. Let me just put that disclaimer in there. After a couple days of being that way, we talk about it and we work on the things that we decide that we need to work on, to help us get to a better place. And that's what we had to do. It's hard to be there, but we get there and we work our hardest at maintaining um that connection. Absolutely. So coming into year 8, I for sure feel like there's a new lease on life. And like, I'm trying to figure out how I could describe it so y'all could get it. But the best way I can say it is I feel like there is a new lease on life. We have, it's like we got a new life, like a video game. I'll use that, where you can lose your lives playing this video game. And once you stay in the game longer and you start to get the power ups and all of the things that you were supposed to get, it builds up your life. You have more lives, and that's how I feel. That's what I feel about us. Um, we have gotten the power ups and we are pushing through, trying to beat each board. 8th year is a new board, and we gonna beat it, and we gonna keep going. And I'm excited about that. Um, it's really, to me, it's important for us to show that resilience, not just to ourselves, but even to our children. They need to see that. They need to see, you know what, mommy and daddy were fighting or they were arguing um the other day, but I see now daddy's hugging mommy, or daddy's smacking mommy's butt, or whatever. I guess I think it's important for them to see that. It's important for them to see us bounce back and to stay connected, because I do not want Marquise to know what it's like for parents to divorce. I don't want him to go through that. Um, I know what that feels like. Once I got to an age where I could realize it and figure it out, I know what that feels like, and that's hurtful because you may see um Jane and Bobby's parents together. Why do they get to stay together and my parents aren't together? I don't want him to go through that. So, and I do not want him to go through the period where he is trying to get us to get back together. That is not his job. I don't think that's any child's job, because once they do that, then that means they think that the divorce is their fault. They think that we broke up because of me, or they broke up because of me. I don't want that for him. He's a special kid, and I want to maintain his specialness. I don't know if that's even a word, but I want to maintain that. And I feel like as his parents, I tell him all the time that it is our job to protect his soul. So, as his parents, part of protecting his soul is for him to see things that are healthy. And seeing us be, loving towards one another and affectionate towards one another is extremely important to me. Y'all may feel something different. This is me. Okay. So yeah, I don't want him to see that. Let's see. Even watching him go through going to school for the first time, us being a united front, and even with my mom taking him to school on the first day of school, like that was special. Having, even though I fuss at him or might push him away or whatever, Tariq making fun of me because I get emotional. I almost cried on school drop off. So because of that, like I I would not have it any other way than to have him driving and messing with me about getting choked up. And yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't experience it in any other way. And I love the fact that I can we have his parent teacher conferences, are via phone. So when we have those conferences, I love the fact that we both can be there to listen to what his teacher has to say. And I love the fact that it is sending a signal to her that he has both of his parents and his parents are connected, and he is like, don't try it. Not that she's a great teacher. I love her. But just letting them know, like, he has both of his parents. He is not the one to mess with. You need to see that he is a special child, and see him for who he is. And they have. I love being able to do that together because I remember going to these parent teacher conferences with my mom and dad, and um the teachers saying things to them about me, and them looking at each other like, well, did you know? Like, it was a thing in my kid brain that looked weird to me. So, and then having to leave in separate cars because we aren't going to the same place. um I like to say that, oh, let me get my husband on the line, because I'm the one that the teacher will call. So hold on, let me get my husband on the line and have him on the line listening to what she has to say. That's a great feeling to me. Not every kid gets to experience that. So I'm glad that we are together and can go through those moments together. Um One thing that I learned about myself going through these 8 years, number one, never, ever, ever did I think I would be in a relationship as long as this one has been. We've been married for 8 years, but we've been together for 12. I never, ever thought I would be in this relationship or any relationship for this long and not be bored. There is nothing boring about us. And outside looking in, you may think we're boring because we don't really get to go out as much as we would like to. But let me tell you something, you may look at it like that from the outside, but we are having fun inside. We are inside the home. We are cracking jokes, laughing, and messing with each other. And like, it's fun. I'm not bored. There's nothing boring about this marriage. And there's nothing stale about this marriage. It's always a new experience. There's always something new that we are experiencing each day, and just having the support of one another. He supports me 100%. I support him 100%. The support may look different for each of us, but it is there. We support each other. And I had that's one of the things that I had to learn. So remember I was telling you about, my strong-willed self and how that I had to learn how to sit back. Well, one of the things that was something that I was teeter tottering between whether or not I'm gonna just go ahead and do it or if I'm gonna just chill was going to get my PhD. After I graduated from my master's program, I had applied to a PhD program and I got accepted into the program. I was just trying to see what would happen. But the thought that getting accepted into this program to create something, because there's something that I do want to create, to be able to create something was enticing. And it went from just, seeing what would happen to, well, you know what, I may give that a shot. I might need to think about this. And getting to a place where he popped my bubble. He didn't tell me I couldn't do it. He just told me at the time it wasn't the right time. Reminding you that, as I said before, debt was piling up and I was not working. When I got into my master's program, or when I was in my master's program, I was an intern. You're not making money as an intern. So that was 2 years of money not coming in from me. And I was like, I'm gonna just, and he told me this because we got into an argument. He was like, you can do it if you want to, but I'm not going to have your back with this because I really don't feel like right now is the right time for you to go get your PhD. And I was like, I was really contemplating on just forgetting about what he's saying and do what I want to do. Then, I have this younger sibling that that tried to talk some sense into me, and she did. She was like, Ashley, it's not fair to him. He's been carrying that house on his own for the past, was it 4 years or something like that at that time? She was like, it's not fair to him. You got to get a job. I was like, all right. So she helped me to see things differently. And I became okay with letting that go for the moment. Is the urge is starting to pick up again. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be something that will continue to sit on the back burner. But I do want us to be in a better place before I get to get my go to get my PhD. Because it's a lot. It is a lot. Okay. So that was one moment, one instant where I was being strong-willed and I was going to do what I wanted to do regardless of his wishes. So that's part of what I learned about myself. When I viewed myself in the past, I'll say in my early 20s, I wanted to get married, but there wasn't anybody that I really wanted to get married to. And when I thought about marriage and thought of myself as a wife, I was like, how is that going to work? Like, do you really know what is going to happen for you as a wife? Like, do you really know what that role is? And I had some examples. They weren't in my house, but I had some examples and I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll be single for the rest of my life. I was wrong. Okay. Um and I still didn't know one totally know what what it meant to be a wife. But this is something that I am learning as I go because yeah, the wife traditionally is supposed to be taking care of the home and taking care of the kids and doing all of the things, but also today's wife looks different than that. A wife today, for some people, can still carry on the traditional side of things, but also she's going out and working too because she has to. And if you want to live a comfortable life, especially today, if you can help it, it needs to be two incomes. So I I saw myself differently than I did than I'm seeing myself now. I am seeing somebody who can um what's the word I want to use, Lord? I'm seeing myself as somebody who can adapt to different things that are being thrown her way. I'm seeing myself as someone who is learning to relax. And when I say learning to relax, I'm not as tightly wound, and I'm learning that, parenthood is looking different for me because my child is different. I There was a way that I thought I was supposed to be as a parent, but that way doesn't work for that child. So I'm learning to parent differently. I'm learning to have more fun as a parent. Um this is this is not a knock towards you, mom, so don't think so. But I don't recall seeing my mother as someone that I could have fun with as a child. My dad, sure, because he and I would play video games together and watch wrestling, and he was every other weekend dad. He was the every other weekend parent. He would call me and we would talk, but he was the every other weekend parent. So I seen him as a place where I could have fun, but I didn't see my mom as the one that I could have fun with because she was trying to make ends meet for us. She was trying to take care of us. She was doing the best that she could as a single mother. So with Marquise, I am pretty busy during the day, but I try to make sure that I have time for him so that he can see me as the mom he can talk to, the mom that he can have fun with. If he doesn't fall asleep before I get him into bed, we are reading a book together. I just recently started reading a book in a different accent, and he loves it. He cracks up at it. So I'm learning to be fun for him. I'm learning to be a fun wife. I am learning to even relax in wifehood because it's easy to be focused on one thing, have a one track mind, but what do you really accomplish for your family if you don't think about your family or if you don't think about your husband? What are you accomplishing with that? So I'm working on being a fun wife and being a wife that is paying attention to her husband, checking in with her husband. Do I get to do it every day? No. But I try to make sure I'm checking in with him. I try to make sure I'm talking to him and making sure he's good. I'm working on it. Like that is a work in progress. And I love the fact that he has given me the grace to do that. He is allowing me to customize my wifehood. He's letting me customize that. He's helping me to learn every different things about him every day. Um and I'm paying attention. I'm not just witnessing it, I'm paying attention to it. I'm storing things away. I'm like trying to be connected in that way with him. So, and does something always fall by the wayside? Sure, because I'm one person. I can't do everything. And that is one thing I think I've been making a mistake with in my prayers, because I'm like, Lord, let me be able to do all of the things. But he's like, you can't. I have to figure out this schedule situation. I have a set schedule, but there's things that I still desire to do. And a lot of times by the end of the day, I am so worn out that the things that I'll try to do, I can't do. And I used to let it make me upset, but I don't anymore. So I'm trying to figure that out. I I don't know if y'all been watching on my social media, been talking about this new diet that we're on, or this new eating habit that we have, um the Mediterranean diet. I've been trying to follow that, and I think we've been doing okay. Last couple of days though, I've been like really craving stuff. Like I really want stuff that's not good for you. But we're doing it. And we're doing that because I presented this to my family, because I'm like, look, this diet has been shown to decrease Alzheimer's and dementia, and I want to say it increases decreases heart disease. And for the reason why that came to me was because when I went to the rheumatologist last week, she was like, maybe because I done gained quite a few pounds. Okay, so I think when I went to the doctor, I was like 185 or something like that. So I'm looking at it and I'm listening to her, and it's helpful for my body, for the things that I have going on, for helping me remain mobile and less inflamed, because I started noticing, adding all this extra weight to myself, I am also having problems with my legs, and having a hard time getting up and down the steps. I need to get back to, I got a 5-year old. I got a 5-year old I need to keep up with. Okay. So I need to get to a weight that is healthier for me. At 5'3", 185 is not good. So I need to get back to a weight that is good for me. And I said to my family, hey, why don't we all do this together? Because we could all be healthier. I know, just like I gained weight, Tariq has gained some weight too. We could all be healthier. So, and I need him to be there right with me without the problems that he's experiencing at his healthiest, so that we can no, I ain't gonna say that. We're gonna watch our grandchildren get to this earth, come to this earth. So I need him to change his diet with me so that we can do that. And my mom, she has been expressing wanting to get rid of meat. Well, the Mediterranean diet focuses mostly on vegetables. There is meat, but it's only a small serving of meat. Like maybe, I think poultry and red meat is like maybe once a week. Maybe. So just getting rid of, making those different changes, not eating so many processed things. Um, it's quick, it's easy, but it's not healthy. So, getting back to eating whole foods and incorporating uh fruit into my diet and more vegetables into my diet. I am not a fruit eater, but this week I have done eaten some fruit that I would not have ever eaten before, like an orange. I didn't drink orange juice because the acid was too much for my stomach. I learned that as a kid. And I thought about it the other day. I was like, wait a minute, I take Pepsi sometimes. If I drink orange juice, then I can take a Pepsi if the acid becomes too much. And yesterday I ate a whole orange and I was good. And so I'm learning new things and new ways to eat, and I'm trying to be healthier. I am experimenting as I go because a lot of this stuff I probably wouldn't eat. So I'm loving the fact that I'm at this place in my life where I am open to trying new things. I'm open to being healthier because it was real easy to be like, okay, I'm gonna work out for an hour, and then after that, I'm gonna eat some ice cream and I'm gonna eat some cookies, and yeah, that's what I was doing. And that weight said, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm almost at the." I did not see 185 until I was pregnant. What is happening? So, I had to make changes, and I needed the rest of us to make changes also. Is it easy? No, because I wanted some good stuff today. Like I wanted candy, and I wanted some pastries or something. I can't remember what I wanted. I was like, I can't do this. I ate something that I should not have eaten. And I know it's only been a few days since doing this diet. And I could tell that I could feel the difference. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do that anymore. Like, I'm going to leave that over there. So, making these changes as a couple is so much easier than doing making these changes on my own. And I needed that support. I needed the support of my family, and I needed my family to feel supported by me because I'm the one that's making the meals for them. I'm setting up the meal plan for the week. Like I'm doing it because we need to do it. Now Marquise ain't doing it, but the adults are are doing it. But I appreciate y'all listening to me. I feel like I was rambling. Tell me if this was helpful. Sorry, I had to get my charger. Tell me if this was helpful. What I see for our future is just a healthier lifestyle, us being happier and continuing to accomplish these goals, and working our way to um prosperity. So I'm gonna go hit these comments up. Oh hey Aunt Raj, you were on here. Yes, mother, I am here. Raj said communication and research the best means of spending. We are in that season. Okay. And he said M is so smart. Marquise is smart. Um she said, I miss him since he's in school, and give him a hug and grant him. I don't know what that part means. Hey, Miss Daphne. Ida, you said he's a step up from Richard Sr. He was an incredible water boy for Knicks football team. Hey, cousin. I seen you in the comments, and Aunt Colleen. It's okay. You didn't. It's all right. I figured you forgot when I talked to you yesterday. It's okay. Hey, Kathy. I don't know if you're still on. Let's see. Tiffany, you said agreed. It's not healthy for children not to see you guys figure it out. They need to see healthy dialogue and problem solving. They do. And it gets affected. I can see him being affected if we're not talking. Um Ida, you said I agree with that. Many of Brittany's friends thought it was weird that her parents were still together. And she always thought other people's households were like hers. It's weird. Let's see. I get it. I've been struggling with my eating a bit crazy. Yeah. All the comforting things that's not good for us. That's what I was leading on. We are on our way, cousin. One day at a time. I gotta remember that. Tomorrow is a new day, so I get another chance to get it together. Absolutely not easy. I ate something. What did you eat, Aunt Colleen? Um, thank you, cousin. Let's see. Um, Aunt Colleen, you said, and don't beat yourself up for having cravings. That's normal. I go through it too. You just talk to yourself and be disciplined. The discipline part is the hard thing. Hey, Kathy. Okay, I see you're still here. I thank y'all for hanging in there with me, and listening to me, and I appreciate the encouragement that you each give me every week or when I come on. I really do appreciate it. I think next week I will not be on unless I figure out a way to let y'all watch Marquise's graduation, because that's what we're gonna be doing next week. Marquise's preschool graduation. I am excited and I probably will cry. So I can't wait for that. And then Sunday we have his award ceremony for T-ball, which threw us for a loop because we didn't know it was coming up. So we are trying to reconfigure the weekend. But I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't believe this little child is going to be going to kindergarten and then we'll have another graduation. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. Um, oh, thank you, Kathy. I love coming and talking to y'all. Even though I always ask for guests because I do want guests, but I love talking to y'all. And speaking of guests, if you want to be a guest on the Love Experience Show, you can find me on all social media where you can DM me. Uh, and all you'll my social media handle is at it's Ashley JW, or you can send me an email, Ashley at it's AshleyJ.com, and let me know that you want to be a guest on the Love Experience Show, which comes on every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I will, Miss Alfreda, you ain't watching the replay, but you can after I end. um, and I'll set you up with a new date, a date for it to be a guest on the show. Okay, I really, really love y'all. Share this episode with those you feel like could use it, and I will talk to y'all not next week, but the week after. I will see y'all. We'll see. I'm gonna see if I can figure out something to make this go live. So while we're at the graduation, or we might be finishing up by that time, but I'm gonna figure something out so that you guys can experience it too. All right. I love y'all. And there's only one thing left for me to say, and that is, what is your love experience? Until we meet again, until we